Hello North Country and welcome to the campus of Plattsburgh State for collegiate softball. I'm Foxy Gagnon and Ken Drake will join us on camera, and we have the home opener for the Plattsburgh State Cardinals softball team following a California road trip and some other pre-conference games. Plattsburgh State at 12 wins and 6 losses. They are coached by Sean Cotter. We look forward to a great season. We'll follow the Plattsburgh State softball team as much as we can with our North Country cable network cameras. We look forward to a great game against St. Lawrence University. St. Lawrence with a CVAC player among their midst, a graduate from Osable Valley Central, Nikki Lopez, and we look forward. She's in the starting lineup for St. Lawrence University, and we'll watch for a big game from her today. Of course, Plattsburgh State with several CVAC graduates, and we'll talk about them as we get into today's game. The pitcher for Plattsburgh State will be Lisa Marlowe, a graduate of Northeastern Clinton Central School, and the Cardinals about set to take the field. Plattsburgh State onto the field, and as we mentioned, Lisa Marlowe on the mound, graduate of Northeastern Clinton Central. Her battery mate is Carrie Clement. At first base, it's Crystal Patterson. At second base, it's Amanda Liberati. The shortstop is Anna Finman. Foul ball to the first batter for St. Lawrence, Meredith Eisenhut. The third baseman for Plattsburgh State is Beth Clement. Out in left field, it's Randy Johnson. Center fielder Jenny Riel, and right fielder Majo Cabalet. And we'll battle the coaches. I remember now at this field, the first base coach right in line with our cameras with the batter, so we may have to dance around, Ken, to get a better angle. I don't know if we have to go up closer or what. If we go closer to the building, you got to look at the batter here? Okay. The officials for this game, the home plate umpire is Jim Gavin, and the base umpire Leo Thompson. Again, Meredith Eisenhut at the plate. Lisa Marlowe on the mound. Marlowe, the main pitcher on the Plattsburgh State. She is the ace. She has a 6-2 record. She's pitched in 11 games, started 8 of those. Right back to Marlowe, over to Patterson at first base. A 1-3 put out to open the game. St. Lawrence with a record of 6 wins and 8 losses. And once again, Plattsburgh State at 12 and 6. They had a very successful California trip, going 8-4, 53 degrees at game time, and a gentle breeze blowing straight out to center field, blowing out. Marlowe pitches to Ashley Porter. Of course, in softball, the third baseman plays way in. That would be Beth Clement. First baseman Patterson in the bunt, and it's bunted foul towards the Plattsburgh State dugout. Now, I did some of my homework last night, and I know for Plattsburgh State in the starting lineup, Majo Cabalet, graduate of Plattsburgh High School. She's in right field. Jenny Riel, the center fielder, graduate of Saranac Central. So 3 former CVAC softball stars and all-stars in the starting lineup for the Cardinals. Marlowe facing Ashley Porter. And that one comes in too low. Mark Sudal, Channel 5 Sports, joins us in our press box, the Cardinals press box down the first base line. How are you, Mark?
Good, how are you doing?
Good. To shortstop and over to Patterson. Ground ball neatly fielded by Finman at shortstop. A 6-3 put out. 2 infield grounders to start the game. So Marlowe getting the ground balls that she wants out of her pitches, and that sends the number 3 batter, Nikki Lopez. Lopez, the graduate of Osable Valley, and starting for the St. Lawrence Saints. Lopez will be the left fielder for St. Lawrence. Fran Oh boy, I'm going to try to say this name. Grimbowitz. Fran Grimbowitz is the head coach for St. Lawrence, assisted by Lori Beggs and Nan Duga. Marlowe's pitch, that one just low. Two down in the first inning for the Plattsburgh State defense, and they're hoping to get their bats in a moment. Plattsburgh State, coached by Sean Cotter, assisted by Joe Triolo and Randy Ashline. And that's a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Nice to see great weather in the North Country. This early in the softball season, that means we'll get over to some high school softball games, and Little League Baseball isn't far behind that. And I wonder if that's Calvin Castine we see across the way doing the coverage of Lisa Marlowe for the Northern Tier. A walk issued. Lopez draws the walk to become the first base runner of the game. Marlowe has had excellent control in 57 innings thus far. She has walked just 17. She has struck out 38. She's surrendered 57 hits in her 57 innings. Oh, throw down to first base, and Lopez dived back in safely. April Regalinski is the batter, bats in the cleanup spot. She is the designated player. And a steal of second base, the throw down, nice throw, and sliding in safely was Lopez, just under the tag applied by Finman. So Lopez with the steal of second base. She's in scoring position for Regalinski, and this is why you put a good batter in the cleanup spot. Swung on and missed, strike two. We'd love for that first base coach to move, huh, Ken? Yeah, I wish she'd move. What if we move to our left? It still probably have a bad angle. Lopez at second base with 2 outs for St. Lawrence, trying to get across the plate in the top of the first inning. Marlowe looks in and delivers. Strike three, swinging strike. Regalinski goes down swinging. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base in the top of the first, and after half an inning, it's St. Lawrence 0 and Plattsburgh State ready to score. And we're on. Here we go. Heather Tuttle on the mound for St. Lawrence. She's from Rome, New York. Let's just move, Ken. We have to get a better shot, even if we have to come on out a little bit. Leading off is Randy Johnson for Plattsburgh State. Johnson batting .283, 17,460 on the season. She's driven in 7 runs. Right back to Tuttle, off her wrist, gets the throw and comes offline, kicked and stays in play. And we'll score that one, an error on the pitcher on the throw. Gets the leadoff hitter on, and Beth Clement steps to the plate. Clement batting .174. She is 4 for her first 23 tries. All of her hits are singles, but she's made the most of her hits, 4 singles, 4 RBIs. The infield for St. Lawrence has catcher Michelle Cercelli And at first base, Kelly McCauley. Second base, Val Angelico. Shortstop is Meredith Eisenhut. And at third base, Katie Maloney. Attempted steal, base hit, and it's in the gap. Clement rounds first. Johnson will score easily, and Clement stops at second. RBI double, and Plattsburgh State jumps out. 2 batters up, and they have a 1-0 lead. Clement gets her 5th hit of the season, her 5th RBI of the season. And that's her first extra base hit. Emily Sewell Butler now batting. Discussion on the mound right now for St. Lawrence. Runner on second base, that is Clement. Sewell Butler batting .359, 14-4-39. She's driven in 8 runs. She has 6 doubles and 2 triples among her hits. Ken Drake on camera trying to battle the first base coach. Nobody out in the bottom of the first inning, and Plattsburgh State off to the 1-0 start. The Tuttle pitch. A spirited Plattsburgh State dugout. Jenny Reel in the on-deck circle for Plattsburgh State. Tuttle's pitch is outside, throw down to the shortstop, chases Clement back. The outfielders for St. Lawrence, it's Nikki Lopez, Ashley Porter, and Beth Lamonto from left to right. Grounded our way, right at Mark Sudol. He stops it with the sneakers. The old sneaker stop by Sudol, and he one-hands it back to the field. Smooth with the 40-pound camera on his shoulder. Ken Drake to my left. He works with Channel 5. He works with some of these people at Channel 5. He's got the 4-ounce camera on his shoulder. Throw down to third base. We had the walk. And thinking about Sewell Butler just trots into second base, got caught. Oh, poor base running there because she didn't hustle into second base. She almost tempted the throw. So we have a walk and then a caught stealing. And Coach Cotter with some instructions to his runner on third base. Clement to third base, 1 out, and Jenny Riel at the plate. Riel is batting .259. She started all 18 of the games. She has 15 hits and 58 tries. She leads the team with 13 RBIs. Right back to the mound, no RBI this time. A 1-3 put out, and they held the runner nicely. Tuttle held the runner at third base. So 2 quick outs recorded, one by some poor base running by Plattsburgh State, and what might have been a bigger inning has dwindled down to 1 out left. Majo Cabalet. Now Cabalet leading the team in batting average at .417. She started all 18 games. She has 7 RBIs. She leads the team with 20 hits. Majo Cabalet. Tuttle's pitch. Line shot down the left field line, and it sent the runner at third base, Clement, to the ground. Tuttle trying to get out of this first inning jam. She laid off the high pitch. One ball and a 1 strike with 2 outs. Bottom of the first inning, Plattsburgh with 1 run in on Beth Clement's RBI double. Oh, nice changeup and a swing and a miss. Can't see the swing and the miss, huh? Because we saw the coach's back. Well, we'll change our position next inning, even if we have to go into play. We're going to get in play if we have to. The Tuttle pitch, and that one, ooh boy, good eye there, just outside. And to center field, and back a few steps and hauling it in center field was Ashley Porter for the 3rd out. Plattsburgh State with 1 run on 1 hit and 1 runner left on base. After 1, it's Plattsburgh State 1 and St. Lawrence 0.
Ducky, how are you?
Well, we relocated for the 2nd inning. We're actually cheating. I'm going to say this quietly. We're in play right now. Ken Drake on camera videotaping illegally from the Plattsburgh State field. He is in play even as I speak. Leadoff hitter Michelle Cercelli. This is the home opener for Plattsburgh State. They meet St. Lawrence University. Marlowe's pitch, called strike. Cercelli will be followed by Val Angelico and Kelly McCauley. And we see the batter a little bit better. We'll stay here as long as we can. Ground ball to the Cardinals dugout. Marlowe takes the mound in inning number 2 with that 1-run lead. Cercelli, the catcher for the Saints. And a line shot into left field. Right between short and third base. First hit of the game for the Saints. Nice to get that leadoff hitter on. Plattsburgh State did, and she came around to score. So let's see what St. Lawrence can do with that. Val Angelico, the second baseman. And always interesting where that first base coach gets, because now that there's a runner on first, she's repositioned, and we would have been better where we were. But we're going to talk to Mr. Peter Liguri about getting us a little booth up here. Maybe if we got on top of the dugout, we'd have the bird's eye view. I wonder if there's a way to get up there. That would be ideal, because we'd like to give plenty of TV coverage to Plattsburgh State Cardinals softball. Marlowe's pitch to second base, and they'll go for the lead runner, and they do get the lead runner. Nice play at second base by Liberati. Turned it to second base. Covering second was Finman. And the fielder's choice
Kelly McCauley
goes 4-6, and that brings up Kelly McCauley, the first baseman for St. Lawrence. 1 on and 1 out, and that one fouled against the backstop. Taken for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Now we saw where that first base coach was. She's playing games with us because she was. That's right, Ken. You go ahead and move where we need to. Swung on and missed. But that first base coach was way out on the left side of the coach's box, and now in the second inning she decides to go way to the right side of it. The Marlowe pitch taken again for a ball, and the count goes to 2-2. We're in the top of the second inning. We'll play 7. Throw down to first base, and Johnson applies the tag, or Patterson applies the tag. This one to right field, and drops in for a base hit in front of Cabalet. 2 hits in the inning for St. Lawrence. Runners now at first and second with 1 out, and Heather Tuttle, the pitcher, steps to the plate. A meeting on the mound, 1-0 Plattsburgh State in the top of the second inning. Marlowe's pitch, called strike. Tuttle batting. And a big at bat. It's 0-2 though on Tuttle. Marlowe wants to get this batter, get that big second out. Scoreboard shows nobody out. My book shows 1 out on the fielder's choice. And that one fouled against the screen. Angelico at second base and McCauley at first. Heather Tuttle batting. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lisa Marlowe. Oh, through the legs of the second baseman, and can they get it out? Nope, they can't even steal it out. The runner from third's going home. Throw cut off, and runners head back to the corners. So Tuttle reaches on the error. First Plattsburgh State error. Scoring was Angelico to make this a 1-1 game. Unearned run in the book, and McCauley ends up at third base. Runners on the corners with 1 out, and St. Lawrence with the makings of a big inning. Katie Maloney, the third baseman, will bat. Still 1 out. Maloney bats and Marlowe pitches the bunt and fouled. Beth Clement charging at third base. The bunt, third base, they look, and Clement gets the out. Runners now at second and third. A 5-3 put out at first base on the Maloney bunt. 2 runners in scoring position for number 10 batter Beth Lamonto. And a meeting on the mound here. Coach Cotter meets with the team, and we have a timeout in the top of the second inning, and it's 1-1. Marlowe looks in, 2 outs, and this is the batter that you want. You face the top of the order following Lamonto. 6th batter of the inning for St. Lawrence, and they have 1 in. Marlowe's pitch. Lamonto takes for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Certainly a big at-bat for St. Lawrence. Change up. Ball 3. Well, first base is open, but I wouldn't really want to face the top of the order with the bases loaded. And that one called strike 2. Marlowe got that one in. 1 to go. Full count. Runners at second and third. 2 outs. Huge pitch coming up. And that one popped at the plate. Catcher there, and the catcher has it sticking a fork in it. Kerry Clement to end the inning. Good pitch by Marlowe, and we played 1.5. The score: Plattsburgh State 1, St. Lawrence 1. Anna Finman, the first batter, hits .271. She started 16 games thus far, has 13 hits, 8 RBIs. Finman, the shortstop for Plattsburgh State. She'll be followed by Kerry Clement and Crystal Patterson. I'm Foxy Gagnon along with Ken Drake on camera, and we need a higher vantage point, no mistake about it, because we continue to battle between the coaches and the umpires on getting a shot. Just put us right up on top of that dugout. We'll be happy customers. The fake bunt and ground ball to third base, and a quick put out from Maloney to McCauley. Finman retired 5-3. 3 in a row retired by Tuttle. Kerry Clement now batting.
Now batting the catcher, number 19, Kerry Clement.
Clement batting .304, 14 for 46. She has 10 RBIs, which is second on the team. Called strike 1. Plattsburgh State got their first 3 batters on. The first 3 in the lineup in the first inning reached base, and then since then the next 3 have been retired. Is that the friskiest dugout you've ever heard? Well, I'm telling you, I'm going to be tired by the end of this game. Tuttle's pitch, just low. 3 balls and a strike to Kerry Clement. Crystal Patterson on deck. Final 2 batters in the Plattsburgh State lineup: Amanda Liberati and Lisa Marlowe. Tuttle's pitch comes in for a strike. Count is full. A lot of pitchers in this game thus far. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Home plate umpire is James "Call Me Jim" Gavin. And that's a ball, so Clement reaches base on the walk. Second walk issued by Tuttle. And Crystal Patterson bats.
Now batting the first baseman, number 12, Crystal Patterson.
Patterson batting just .147. She is 5 for 34. 4 singles and a double. She's driven in 4 runs. One on and 1 out. Large lead off second base, and maybe caught. She hold on to the ball. She did. Nice tag applied. Nice tag applied by the Saints shortstop Eisenhut, and caught off base is Clement. A couple of base running mistakes by Plattsburgh State early, and now 2 outs, nobody on for Patterson. A ball and no strikes. They're going to check the count. A ball and no strikes to Patterson. Grounder pulled foul. The base umpire, none other than Leo, call me Leo, Thompson. 53 degrees at game time, and that breeze that was blowing from home plate out to center field has pretty much stopped. You gotta love the sunshine. That one pulled into the woods, foul behind Calvin Castine. He may be the only one in this place that can see the ball right now. He had the zoom lens cooking on that foul ball. And grounder over to the coach at third base. Coach Cotter gave it the soccer kick. Ken, you got to work at 9 o'clock tonight. I'll try to get you there in time. That one comes in low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Heather Tuttle of Rome, New York is on the mound for St. Lawrence. She high steps it, and the strikeout recorded on Patterson, and it ends up a 3-up, 3-down inning for Plattsburgh State. And we head to the top of the third. It's Plattsburgh State 1 and St. Lawrence University 1. Base hit to open the third inning. Oh, St. Lawrence brought the bats out. Leadoff single in the third for, I'll tell you in a minute, the leadoff hitter, Eisenhut. How'd we do, Ken? Did you get much of that single? Yep, Ken Drake on camera had the trigger ready. Eisenhut with the leadoff single. 2 innings in a row, St. Lawrence has led off with a single. Ashley Porter, infield ground out in her first at-bat. Marlowe has now surrendered 3 hits and the sacrifice bunt. The play from Patterson to Liberati to get the put out. So I'm going to give Porter the nice sacrifice bunt, get the runner Eisenhut in scoring position. The go-ahead run at second with 1 out for Nikki Lopez. Yes, indeed, the same Nikki Lopez that you cheered for at Osable Valley Central School, now wearing the colors of St. Lawrence University. Whoops. Guess not. Now, what happened here? April Regalinski announced at the batter. Well, what happened to Lopez? Where'd I go wrong? We got the sacrifice. We got the... Well, I don't know in my book. But Regalinski indeed at the plate. Well, Ken, what did they have? They had the opening single, and then they sacrificed the second, and now this batter. Well, you can't just skip over Nikki Lopez. I don't know. I put a question mark there. Marlowe's pitch. That one comes in high and tight. 3-1 the count. Top of the third. Oh, a walk issued, and there you go. That was the 4th ball. And amidst our battery change, a long shot by Regalinski to the outfield, or by Cercelli to the outfield. And that's a stand-up double and an RBI. And scoring was Eisenhut. 1 out and a 2-1 lead now for St. Lawrence. St. Lawrence into this game with a 6-8 overall record. And Val Angelico now bats. And that one's fouled our way, heads up right near us and just to our left, huh? Val Angelico came right at us with that one. Nobody panicked. Everybody stayed pretty cool. Got thousands and thousands of dollars worth of equipment here, but everybody stayed pretty cool. Apparently the people on camera didn't pay for those cameras, so they weren't about to panic. So I have 1 out in the inning. Top of the third, 2-1 score. St. Lawrence was down 1-0, but they picked up a run in the second, and they have one thus far in the third. Runners at second and third, and I'm still wondering what happened to Nicky Lopez in the lineup. And a walk issued by Marlowe. Second walk of the inning by Marlowe. Third of the game. And Kelly McCauley.
Now batting the first baseman, number 17, Kelly McCauley.
Bases loaded and 1 out. Batter's delight right here. Marlowe, pressure on her to make the good pitches. Called strike 1. Heather Tuttle to follow. And off the fist, line drive to shortstop, and no problem hauling that one in for the shortstop, Finman. The infield liner makes it 2 outs now.
Now batting the pitcher, number 14.
And Heather Tuttle to the plate. Bases loaded, sacks back, 2 outs. Ball 1 inside. And Coach Cotter will be happy to get out of this situation with just 1 run surrendered. That one off the fists, and at second base, Liberati with the catch to end the inning. So Marlowe with the bases loaded settled down, got 2 outs off the fists and 1 run in on 2 hits in that inning. They leave 3 on base, and after 2.5, it's St. Lawrence 2 and Plattsburgh State 1. Amanda Liberati. Tuttle on the mound. Liberati takes that one high. Bottom of the third inning. A run and a hit for Plattsburgh State. Run scored by Johnson. She reached on an error to lead off the bottom of the first inning. She scored on the Beth Clement double. Marlowe will bat second, and then the top of the order, Johnson, will be the third batter of this inning for the Cardinals. Tuttle's pitch, and that one called a strike right at the kneecap. A ball and 2 strikes. Dug out of the dirt, and a squibbler to second base, quickly fielded. Nice play. Second baseman Val Angelico had to have quick hands there. It was a squibbler in front of her. She made the quick throw for the out. And Marlowe doesn't bat, so up we go to the top of the order with Randy Johnson. And that one headed our way. Once again, an opportunity for Mark Sudol to show his athletic skills. Very smooth, 2 in a row. He is 2 for 2 in the fielding department. I'm sure he'll be a strong member of that Channel 5 team, the softball team this year. What are they called? The terrific Fab Five or something?
Mighty Fivers.
The Mighty Fivers, that's right. Gaining a reputation around the North Country for their outstanding softball play.
Yeah,
The Mighty Fivers.
Rookie of the year right there.
The Rookie of the Year? The Drowned kid was? Wow. Oh, he might be. He's new to the team. They do part of their hiring based on their athletic skills, and they've recruited some outstanding softball players for the summer of 2002. Tuttle's pitch, and that one popped up in first base line and caught in foul territory by first baseman McCauley.
Like last time.
Now batting third baseman number 14, Beth Clement.
Beth Clement, who has the only Cardinals hit of the game. We are batting with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. St. Lawrence has 2 runs in on 4 hits. And the batter steps out. Clement wants to reevaluate the situation, giving the cheering squad in the dugout for Plattsburgh State time for an additional cheer between pitches. That pitch came in low. Three balls and no strikes with 2 out. You definitely, with 2 outs, you don't want to put a free base runner on base, and you do. Clement draws the walk. She's on base for the second time. Goes to the number 3 hitter, Sewell Butler, also known as Emily.
Now batting designated player number 21, Emily Sewell Butler.
You like those left-handed batters. And now we have the photographer to battle. Then he realized the cameras were along the outfield line, so that pitch comes in low. Well, the Cardinals are not hitting Tuttle yet. Looked good early on with an error, a double, and a walk. But since then, the Cardinals have been silent at the plate. Tuttle's pitch. Swung on and missed. Throw down to first base. Oh boy, she didn't get in. Oh, yes, she did. She got in. Apparently she got the foot in. And the coach, the Saints coach, there was a lot of pointing going on. The coach was pointing, the home plate umpire started pointing, the base umpire was pointing, and all that meant let's talk about it. I'm not sure what the discussion is. They might have been asking the home plate umpire, could you have a better angle? Could you see that the tag was made and her foot wasn't into the base? I'll bet you Mike Dowd got a shot of it for the Press Republican.
They're still working on that one.
Discussion over.
Track out there.
Now the catcher for the Saints is asking a question. I think they're just trying to wear out Ken Drake on camera. I think it's a conspiracy. Called strike, but for the third strike. Called strike 3, Sewell Butler is out. The runner could run all she wanted. It didn't matter. No runs on no hits in the inning. We played 3, and it's St. Lawrence 2 and Plattsburgh State 1. Katie Maloney bats for the Saints. Marlowe still on the mound, her 4th inning of work. Marlowe, the windmill pitch, and that one taken outside. 1-1 the count. Maloney will be followed by Lamonto, and then the top of the order, Eisenhut. That one skips its way in. We've made it to the top of the 4th. So let's see how closely I can get on the CVAC players on the Plattsburgh State team. Majo Cabalet, her younger sister Jaja Cabalet, and Jaja batting .406 at this point. She started 8 of the 18 Cardinals games. She has not seen action yet in this one, but Jaja off to a great start with Plattsburgh State this season. And Marlowe walks Maloney. Marlowe not on her best game for sure. She has been stingy with the walks, but in this one, this is her maybe 4th walk. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4th walk issued by Marlowe. Beth Lamonto bats.
Go at first, pinch runner.
Huh?
Pinch runner.
Oh, pinch runner at first base, and it is number 3. And since I don't have the roster of St. Lawrence, I don't have the name.
Red flag, yes.
Lamonto, the right fielder, she attempts the bunt and fouled it at the plate.
Pinch running for St. Lawrence, number 3, Aaron Lloyd.
Aaron Lloyd or Aaron Boyd. Aaron is running at first base in the Katie Maloney spot. And that one fouled at the plate. Count goes to 0-2. Marlowe wants this one. Oh, runner's out. Oh, just got back in. It was a one-hop throw to first base from the catcher, Carrie Clement. Nicely handled by Patterson at first base, but they almost had the pinch runner Lloyd off base. The count is 2-2 to Lamonto. Back to my list. We talked about the former CVAC players. Count goes full now to Lamonto. So Majo and Jaja Cabalet from Plattsburgh State, Jenny Riel and Emily Riel from Saranac Central, and Lisa Marlowe from Northeastern Clinton. Base hit to right field, cleanly fielded by Majo Cabalet. Lamonto has the single, so some action from the bottom of the order for the Saints, and they have runners on first and second, nobody out. And Ashley Porter bats. You must be able to pick and choose who you want to skip through the lineup. And that one, the bunt, the sacrifice, nicely played by Plattsburgh State on that one. And I believe it went from 5-4, and that would be from Beth Clement to Amanda Liberati. So Porter, who was announced as the batter, gets the sacrifice, and now Nikki Lopez bats. Ducky, do you know of some rule where you can skip a batter in the lineup? Because they didn't, Lopez wasn't announced last time. This time they skipped over Meredith Eisenhut. They just skipped right past one batter. So Nikki Lopez now gets to bat. You'll have to explain it to me. 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. Pinch runner Lloyd at third base and Lamonto at second base. And Lopez, who drew a walk in her first at bat, also had a stolen base, is at the plate. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nikki Lopez. Marlowe gets her swinging. A big out recorded by Marlowe. Marlowe's been able to come up with big pitches when she's had to keep the game close. And St. Lawrence, a couple of clutch hits away from a 5-1 lead instead of the 2-1 lead. Now, April Regalinski, the cleanup hitter, struck out and walked. That one fouled behind the press box. Marlowe's pitch, grounder, shortstop Finman, across the diamond to Patterson for the out. Again, Marlowe gets out of a jam. No runs in the inning on 1 hit. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. We're halfway through this one. It's St. Lawrence 2 and Plattsburgh State 1.
You can bring it to work for me if I do?
Jenny Riel at the plate. She hit one back to the mound and was thrown out at first base. Now Channel 5 Sports Department doing a switch as Sudal yanked from his starting position, and in from the bullpen is Kelly. Kelly relieving Sudal in the 4th inning, and Kelly called in from the bullpen to put out the fire. Jenny Riel, Saranac Central's own, is batting to lead off the 4th inning. The count is 1-1. That one's ball 2. Tuttle has pitched very well. 1 run and 1 hit through 3 innings. She's recorded a strikeout. She's walked 3. Riel bats in the cleanup spot. And did we say her batting her average? Yes, indeed we did. .259 batting average for Riel. A great website if you want to keep track of the Plattsburgh State softball team. Grab a pencil and some paper, back to the mound, and Tuttle with the throw over to McCauley for the out. Riel out 1-3, twice that she's done that, and now Plattsburgh High School's Majo Cabalet steps in. The leading batting average on the team, .417. Majo Cabalet. Did I say Ken Drake on camera? I think I did. Now we got keys being tossed around. Don't ask me. Long as they're not keys to my apartment. Cabalet stands in and swings off the fist to third base and foul. Just foul. Third baseman Maloney was ready to fire across the diamond. You can count on it. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Plattsburgh State needing some base runners. They're only down by 1, but they've been out hit 5-1. That one a ball. 2-1 the count. Majo Cabalet, what an athlete she was at Plattsburgh High School. Throughout her years there, of course, her and her sister Jaja among the favorites of Foxy and Goose. To shortstop, and McCauley went up nicely to get it. The throw from shortstop Eisenhut. 6-3 put out in the book, and Finman bats. Finman batting .271 coming into this game.
shortstop, number 8, Anna Finman.
Anna Finman. Jeremy Agor is the sports information director at Plattsburgh State. Heather Tuttle pitching nicely for St. Lawrence. Strike one on the attempted bunt. Here's a good website. You want to check on some softball at Plattsburgh State? It's a long one. It's a long one. It might take me the rest of the inning to say it. Sharpen your pencil first. Tuttle's pitch. Ball. 1-1 the count. Here we go. In addition, once you get rolling here, www.plattsburgh.edu, that's edu, /sports/team base hit in the gap. Fidman touches second base, heads to third. Fidman sliding into third. The belly flop slide and a triple for Finman. Her first triple of the season, her second extra base hit of the season. So Anna Finman, the potential tying run at third base now with 2 outs. So, want me to finish that address? You got the www.plattsburgh.edu /sports/team/WSOFT. That's WSOFT. And you're going to be at some very interesting information about this Plattsburgh State softball team.
Now batting the catcher, number 19, Carrie Clement.
Carrie Clement bats. She is the catcher. She walked in her first at bat. Clement batting .304. 2 outs, but Finman at third base. 2-1 lead for St. Lawrence. Called strike. 0-2. Now Tuttle can waste a pitch or two and play around a little bit. Pressure on Clement. Tuttle's pitch, the changeup skipped its way in. Finman at third base. Good hard shot by Finman between second and center field and right field. Home run fence, in case you were wondering, 200 feet. No matter where you poke it, it's a 200-footer. And it curves around the outfield. Deeper, a little bit deeper in right center and left center, but to the dead spots of left and center and right, it's 200 feet. Back to the mound and a 1-3 put out, and Tuttle's out of the mini jam. No runs and a hit. We played 4, and it's St. Lawrence 2 and Plattsburgh State 1. Michelle Cercelli for the Saints, top of the 5th inning. She has an RBI. The other run, an unearned run, came in on an error. Cercelli has a single and a double. What a hitter. Having a big game. She'll be followed by Angelico and Macaulay as far as we know. Called strike, and it's a 1-1 count now to Cercelli. 2 hits and an RBI. Nice day. Lisa Marlowe still on the mound. She's given up 2 runs on 5 hits. She's walked 4. And that one a ball. It's 3-1. And that one called strike 2. Full count. And Cercelli steps out, wants to rethink the situation with the full count. Marlowe looks in. And the changeup and a line down the left field corner. third hit of the game for Cercelli. What a hitter. The changeup, and she waited on it nicely and pulled it to left field. That brings up Angelico. She had reached on a fielder's choice and then walked.
Now batting second baseman number 7, Val Angelico.
Don't worry about us, ladies. Don't you worry about us. A couple of the Saints headed to the bullpen to get warmed up. Angelico bats. Marlowe has a runner on first base. Lisa Marlowe of Northeastern Clinton Central on the mound for Plattsburgh State. A 6-2 record on the season. 11 appearances, started 8 games, 8 complete games. She's thrown 2 shutouts and came into this game with 57 2/3 innings pitched and 57 hits surrendered, but just 7 earned runs in those 57 innings. A pretty ERA of 0.85 coming in. Strikeout recorded on Angelico. 1 on and 1 out now in the top of the 5th for St. Lawrence. They hold the 2-1 lead, and McCauley singled and then a line to shortstop, a 1 for 2. Marlowe, that one's a called strike. McCauley with Tuttle on deck. Temperature in the 50s. So this time of year, April, you can get it in the 50s with sunshine, you're happy. That one will drop in the gap as well. Fielded in center field by Jenny Rial. She quickly got it in. They might have the play. They got the out. They caught McCauley off first base. She rounded it too far and she was out. A single for McCauley. She drove Cercelli over to third base, but a costly error there, and heads up play in the outfield and the infield for Plattsburgh State. So the defense helps get Marlowe out of a jam with 2 outs now and the runner on third base. Important at bat for Heather Tuttle. It's Cercelli over at, and that one to the mound. Oh, off the glove, and a run will score. Runner scores, and that makes it 3-1. I'll have to give that one. I thought the throw was there. I thought I'll have to give that error to the first baseman. In my book, it goes to Patterson. Off the top of her glove, but I thought she could have had that. So another unearned run in. And it's 3-1. Now batting is perhaps Maloney. What batter is this? Can you tell me what batter this is? Who is this batter? Maloney? Thank you. Maloney grounded out and then reached on a walk. Tuttle at first base. To third base and over to Patterson for the out. Cleanly fielded by Beth Clement at third base. Nice play. And 1 run in for St. Lawrence, and they picked up a couple of hits. There was an error, and we go to the bottom of the 5th, and it's now St. Lawrence 3 and Plattsburgh State Cardinals 1. Plattsburgh State bats in the bottom of the 5th inning. They're down by a couple. Crystal Patterson, 0 for 1 in the game. But that's not Crystal Patterson. That is pinch hitter Emily Riel, batting .429. 3 for 7. So, pinch hitter Emily Riel. And she comes right our way. I got the foot for that one. Miskicked it, but I got the foot for it. Get it from out of play. Oh, sorry, lady, I didn't see you. Whoops, the nice right fielder came over and wanted the ball, and I ignored her. Oh, geez, I hope she's not mad at me. I threw it to the ump instead. I hope she's not mad at me, Ken. So, we've had some foul ball action in our press box, which is now empty except for us. Sudal left, Kelly left. He'd had a short relief stint. And Press Republican Mike Dowd, photographer, left. PSTV left. Ken Drake stood standing, the sole survivor. And of course, yours truly, Foxy Gagnon. He of the chilly hands right now. I promised Ken 60-degree weather. I'm about 8 degrees off on that one. 2-2 the count to Emily Riel, graduate of Saranac Central, sister of Jenny Riel. But we've known that for years. Tuttle's pitch swung on and missed. And in the fifth, Tuttle records her third strikeout. Well, Tuttle, excellent pitcher. Cercelli, excellent hitter. St. Lawrence made an error on the first hitter of the Plattsburgh State game, and they've played errorless ball since. Liberati bats. Liberati grounded to second base in her first at bat. She takes that one. The count is 0-2. Plattsburgh State, a run and a hit in the first inning, just a hit in the fourth inning, and that's been their story. 1 run on 2 hits, and St. Lawrence with 3 runs on 7 hits. A 1-2 count with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Liberati at the plate, and on deck, Randy Johnson, the leadoff hitter. Tuttle pitches, and that one grounded to second base, backhanded. Backhander by Angelico, and the putout. 2 down now, and Randy Johnson will bat for Plattsburgh State. Reached on an error and then fouled out to first base. R-A-N-D-I. Come on, Randy, let it fly. She wears number 16. 5th on the team in batting average, coming in at .283. 2nd in runs scored. Oh, tied for 1st in runs scored entering this game with 15. 2nd in hits with 17. And she hits this one hard to shortstop. And by a step, nice throw from Eisenhut. 6-3 put out. 3 up and 3 down, and after 5, it is still St. Lawrence 3 and Plattsburgh State Cardinals 1. Top of the 6th, Meredith Eisenhut, top of the order for the Saints. You like to try to score some runs late in the game when you get the top of the order up. I apologize for my rustling papers. Hard shot, second base, nicely played by Liberati to Patterson. A quick 4-3 put out.
Now batting the center fielder, number 11, Ashley Porter.
Ashley Porter bats, and she is 0 for 1, 2 sacrifices. by Porter in the contest. She will not be sacrificing in this situation. St. Lawrence, 3 runs on 7 hits. Plattsburgh State, a run on a couple of hits and a hard shot off the shortstop's shoulder. Well, that one's going to be tough to call. In my book, that's a base hit. You hit it that hard, it bounced off the shoulder of shortstop Finman. I go with the single on that one. Now who's batting? Good. Nikki Lopez is.
Now batting the left fielder, number 10, Nikki Lopez.
Lopez walked and then struck out. 0 for 1 in my book, and she fouls it at the plate. Porter at first, the 8th hit of the game for St. Lawrence. So Plattsburgh State will mount a rally in the 6th and 7th innings. Well, the 6th inning, they'll pile up a couple of runs to take the lead. That's the prediction from some of the fans around us. Lisa Marlowe has pitched all the way. She's in her 6th inning of work. And that one popped up in the infield over the third baseman's head and an infield single. Nikki Lopez hit them where they ain't and gets the infield single. With the third baseman always playing in, Beth Clement had no chance for it. And the shortstop Finman had no chance for it. She had too far to run. So you just put it in the book as a single, and it looks like she hit it 200 feet. 1st and 2nd and 1 out. Now, Regalinski. 0 for 2 plus a walk, but the cleanup hitter. Randy Lozier has left the building, folks. It's official. Hi. Regalinski bats. Put the fake bunt on. Runners on 1st and 2nd with 1 out. Eisenhut grounded out, but then Porter singled and Lopez singled. Marlowe needs the pitch, and the Cardinals need the play. You don't want this one to get out of reach. 3-1, it's still in reach. But you can't let any more come across the plate for the Saints. Marlowe called strike. Count goes to 3-1. Marlowe in danger of loading the bases. She came up with the pitch there. 3-1 the count now. Marlowe looks in. The bunt. Catcher gets it. Clement with the nice play. So give Regalinski the sacrifice. Runners both in scoring position now. Porter at 3rd, Lopez at 2nd. 2 outs, and it will call for the big hit by none other than Cercelli. Now, Michelle Cercelli, 3 for 3 in the game. So, Coach Grimbowitz kind of setting the table for Cercelli, but I might consider taking the bat out of her hand. Cercelli 3 for 3 behind her. Val Angelico, who is 0 for 2 plus a walk. But they pitch. First base is open. I want to remind Marlowe. First base is open, so I'd be careful with Cercelli. Cercelli batting in the number 5 spot. 3 for 3, a run scored. 2 outs. Called strike 1 on the first pitch to Cercelli. Marlowe pitches. That one just inside. 1-1 the count. Marlowe steps off. She wants to look at the catcher's signals once again. Cercelli steps out. Cat and mouse game a little bit. Now Marlowe's ready, and that pitch popped up. Who's going to give chase? Center field. Center field. Riel has it for the out. Caught in center field, Jenny Riel. And Marlowe got the pitch she needed. No runs and a hit. Officially, the Porter was called an error, but in our book it was called a hit. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Pressure on the bats of Plattsburgh State. They trail St. Lawrence 3-1.
Now batting the third baseman, number 14, Beth Clement.
Beth Clement leads off the bottom of the 6th for Plattsburgh State. Beth Clement, a double and then reached on a walk. She'll be followed by Sewell Butler and Jenny Riel. Tuttle in her 6th inning of work. She has pitched very well. Grounder, slower roller, but fielded nicely at shortstop by Eisenhut, and the out recorded at first base. One quick out. Sewell Butler steps to the plate. She reached on a walk and then struck out. Plattsburgh State batting in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Player number 21, Emily Sewell Butler.
Plattsburgh State just has not been able to get a bead on Tuttle's pitches. She has been outstanding. Sewell Butler ready, and that one fouled at the plate. She bats in the number 3 spot. She is 3rd in the team coming into this game, 3rd on the team in batting average, but 1st in slugging percentage with a .615 slugging percentage. Majo Cabalet at .500. 2nd on the team in on-base percentage at .432, behind Majo Cabalet at .463. And tied for 4th on the team in hits. That one, a little number at the plate. Cercelli gets it, but Sewell Butler beats it out for the shortest single you will see recorded this season. A 2-foot single, that will mark that in our pages. A 2-foot single, that may very well be the shortest single that will happen for the Cardinals this year. But it counts in the book. Jenny Riel now at the plate. Riel, the center fielder, has hit it back to the mound twice.
Number 22, Jaja Cabalet.
Jaja Cabalet gets an appearance. She is pinch running at first base. One of our faves, no question about it. One of our favorite players, graduate of Plattsburgh High School, and she can move those legs. Single up the middle, clutch hit here, and the throw comes into second base. So Jenny Riel with a clutch hit sends pinch runner Jaja Cabalet to second base. So tying run at first base with 1 out. And Majo Cabalet at the plate. Cabalet has flied to center field and grounded to shortstop. And timeout called. Timeout on the field. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, 1 out, and Plattsburgh with a mini rally going, and it's St. Lawrence 3, Plattsburgh State 1. Sean Cotter, the coach of Plattsburgh State Cardinals softball, and he's assisted by Joe Triola and also Randy Ashline. Majo Cabalet at the plate. 1st and 2nd and 1 out. Heather Tuttle has pitched a great game. 2 singles in the, steal on, and that throw goes into left field, backed up though, and the stolen bases, so some daring base running. Sewell Butler to 3rd and Jenny Riel to 2nd. Now the runners in scoring position, and a single potentially would tie the game. Cabalet So the steal sets the table for Jaja Cabalet. The count is 1-1 on Majo. I should say not for Jaja, but for Majo. First base now open, and Anna Finman is in the on-deck circle. Ooh, the change up for a strike. Pretty pitch by Tuttle. A ball and 2 strikes. Ken Drake on camera. I'm Foxy Gagnon, North Country Cable Network, bringing you Cardinals softball from the campus of Plattsburgh State. Tuttle's pitch. Taken for a ball just high. 2-2 the count. Saints 3, Cardinals 1. Bottom of the 6th inning. A big hit by Cabalet ties the game. If she could hit one in the gap. We may be looking at extra innings, Ken. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but down the right field line is fair. She hit it where she had to. We've got a tie game, and Majo Cabalet to third base. Stands up at third. The big hit of the game. Majo Cabalet, and Coach Cotter celebrates with her at third base. Cabalet gets the triple, 2 RBIs. Jenny Riel and Emily Sewell Butler scored, and we are tied at 3. Now, the go-ahead run, potential winning run at third base. Finman due to bat. Coach Cotter in conference with the home plate umpires, so they may have some changes going on. We'll see. They're going to have a pinch runner at third base. And we'll see who that is. They want a speedier runner at third, although I'll tell you what, Majo was burning up some turf as she rounded the bases, digging up dirt. I'm trying to see the number on the back of the runner at third base. Look, it might be 4. 4? Okay. And my sheet says number 4 is Colette Mayer. Colette Mayer running at third base. And Finman bats. 1 out and a missed bunt attempt. Finman hits 271. I'm looking to see if she has any sacrifices, and I can't find where that would be. Yes, right here, sacrifice. We're going to have a play at the plate. Play at the plate, out. The ball got past the catcher. Cercelli hustles after it. Good coverage by Tuttle at home plate, and they get Mayer, the pinch runner, coming home. So Coach Cotter decided to take the chance, go with the steal of home on the wild pitch, and it didn't work, and now Finman bats with the bases empty. So we got ourselves a 3-3 game. Finman swings, hits it hard to shortstop, and dropped the ball. What's the call? Off the base, safe. So the throw from shortstop Eisenhut pulls McCauley off the base. Finman ruled safe at first. 2 outs. Plattsburgh State not done batting yet. That should have been the 3rd out, and Carrie Clement is the batter. Whoa, plenty of action in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Tuttle ready to work. They're going to try to steal second base. Cercelli's throw short, and Finman steals second base. For Finman, her 12th steal in 14 attempts. And Clement, who has walked and then hit one back to the mound and was out at first. And they're going to go to third base. The throw, too short. So Finman has raced her way around the bases. And it's all up to Clement. Oh my, 1-1 the count with 2 outs. Game tied at 3. Carrie Clement at the plate, the pressure on her now. A single puts Plattsburgh State ahead. Plattsburgh State led 1-0. We were tied for an inning at 1 apiece. St. Lawrence went ahead 2-1, went ahead 3-1. But in the bottom of the 6th, Plattsburgh State comes alive. And they have 3 hits. The trifecta of hits, Sewell, Butler, and Rio with singles, and Majo Cabalet, the big triple. Oh, lip. Oh, my goodness. At second base, Angelico even turned her head, but she got the leather on the ball. A 4-3 putout. 2 runs on 3 hits and an error thrown in, and after 6, it's Plattsburgh State 3 and St. Lawrence University 3. So we come to the 7th inning, a 3-3 game. You might as well throw out what happened. We'll play 3 outs apiece. The team that scores the most runs over their next 3 outs wins. Wraps up the game. Hard smash, shortstop. Nice field by Finman at shortstop. A 6-3 putout on the batter, Angelico. Now it's Kelly McCauley. First baseman, Kelly McCauley. She is 2 for 3 in the game. St. Lawrence with 3 runs on 9 hits. Shortstop bobbled up the arm, and oh, she held it. She held it. Great play by Patterson at first base. The throw was high, but let me tell you, Crystal Patterson kept the foot on the base. What? What? They said she pulled her foot? Wow, overruled. And now Coach Cotter is asking about it. Wow, from my view of it, she kept her foot there. The base umpire thought so too, but ooh, scratch that one. That could be a big call. So Angelico, what do we call that? A high throw, E8 or a E6. Oh, yikes. And now McCauley back. No, who's this? No, McCauley reached. That's it. 1 out. 1 out, and McCauley is on first base, and that one, and drops in front of the new right fielder for Plattsburgh State. New in right field is Beth Clement. Looks like there's been some defensive changes by Plattsburgh State. And let's see. Indeed, so that will drop for a base hit. Runners on first and second now with 1 out for St. Lawrence. Odd inning thus far. And Katie Maloney bats for the Saints. Marlowe still on the mound. This is the top of the 7th inning. Plattsburgh State has scored their 3 runs on 5 hits. Marlowe, a fastball, and that's a loop to left field, and that will load the bases. So the Saints have the sacks packed in a 3-3 game, 1 out. And Beth,
Number 5,
now we skip her, okay, skip her. So we go to Meredith Eisenhut. She is 1 for 3. And they checked with the right fielder, Beth Clement, who had been playing at third base. She was moved to right field. They asked to see if, called out, did she need sunglasses? She said no. And on that looping hit, just that Beth Clement didn't charge it. I heard her call for it, but she didn't charge it, and then it dropped in front of her. Okay, situation in the infield. Sacks packed for the Saints. 3-3 game. And Meredith Eisenhut with a 1-for-3 game is the batter. She's the leadoff hitter. Marlowe's pitch, strike one. The changeup goes high, 1-1. The important runner for St. Lawrence, of course, all of them, but the lead runner, Heather Tuttle, Kelly McCauley. That one to first base. They'll get the play at home. Nice play again. Patterson with some pretty plays at first base. And the fielder's choice works, so the put out on McCauley trying to score. Tuttle to third, Maloney to second. Eisenhut now at first on the fielder's choice. And the important batter becomes Ashley Porter.
Center fielder, number 11, Ashley Porter.
Porter is 1-for-2 with 2 sacrifice bunts. 2 outs, and Marlowe trying to shut the door once again in a key situation. To shortstop, and the throw scooped up. Patterson with the scoop of the Finman throw, and the out at first base. And again, Marlowe and the Cards get out of a situation, bases loaded, and 1 out. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and it's St. Lawrence 3 and Plattsburgh State Cardinals 3.
First baseman, number 12, Crystal Patterson.
Crystal Patterson, a number in front of the plate, and fielded by McCauley for the putout. McCauley to Liberati for the putout, or McCauley to Angelico for the putout. 1 quick out. Now Amanda Liberati, 0-for-2. She's grounded out to second base twice. Called strike 1. So Tuttle and Marlowe end up in a pitcher's duel towards the end of this game, a 3-3 tie. Marlowe got out of the big jam in the top of the 7th inning. Bases loaded, 1 out, but got a fielder's choice to first base and a ground out to shortstop. Liberati swings at this one, lofts it to right field, maybe in the gap, and drops in between both, and play at second base, but standing up at second is Liberati. Liberati, and the ball dropping off the glove of the center fielder, I believe, which would be Porter. Porter and Lamonto both went after the ball. And discussion with Coach Cotter with instructions for Liberati. Let me make sure I've got the... we have now Sarah Nastasha pinch running. Sarah Nastasha is running. Okay.
Number 5, Sarah Anastasia.
Sarah Anastasia is how they pronounce it. Pinch running. Would you call that an error? Would you give the center fielder an error for dropping that? Long run, but still error. Yep, I agree. Error center field. She got the glove on it and then it didn't hang on. So, top of the order, Randy Johnson. The winning run at second base. Ooh, line Coach Cotter. That almost got a chunk of Coach Cotter at third base. Johnson bats, reached on an error, fouled out to first base, and grounded out to shortstop. 0 for 3 in the book. She scored the run. Tied at 3, 1 on and 1 out. That runner at second base, pinch runner Anastasia. That one low, and that will be third base now for Anastasia. So the winning run at third base with 1 out. Plattsburgh State trying for the come-from-behind win. They were down 3-1. They scored 2 in the 6th inning. And looking for the game winner in the 7th. They need a sacrifice fly, an infield grounder possibly. You have to make contact. Johnson at the plate looking for the game-winning ribby. Tied at 3. Tuttle has pitched a great game. That one a ball, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Beth Clement, Emily Sewell Butler to follow. Pinch runner Anastasia at third, the potential winning run. Tuttle's pitch, taken for a ball, 3-1. Pressure on the defense as well, especially the infielders, because even a bobble might give the runner a chance to score from third. And Anastasia may be off on contact. If she's a speedy runner, they may challenge the infield. The changeup, called strike at the letters. Count goes full. You want to make contact in this at-bat. Poke it someplace. Randy Johnson batting. She's the left fielder for the Cards. And that one fouled our way, foul territory, and a great try by the right fielder. Lamonto, a great try in right field, foul territory. Just a step short on that one, and the count remains full. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, staring extra innings in the face, and I'll be late for my meeting. Very important meeting, a big commitment I made to my boss, and the Cards and Saints want to keep Ken and I here. Three balls and 2 strikes. Heather Tuttle, the pitcher. And the big one, the payoff pitch, outside, ball 4. Good eye by Johnson. Now, you can play around with that runner on first and third situation if you're daring on the base paths. Coach Cotter with some signals for Beth Clement. Clement doubled in the 1st inning, walked in the 3rd, and grounded out to lead off the 6th. Hit it to the shortstop. Shortstop is deep, so if you poke one to the shortstop now on contact, we'd have a close play at the plate. Tied at 3, bottom of the 7th inning. The Cards looking for the come-from-behind win. And unchallenged is Randy Johnson as she moves to second base. So Johnson at second, that doesn't matter. The important runner is Anastasia, Sarah Anastasia at third base. A ball to Clement. And again, now Clement wants to make contact, just 1 out. So a couple of chances for the Cards to get the winning run in. Second and third, 1 out. Beth Clement, she has 1 RBI in the game. And Majo Cabalet has the other 2 RBIs. What a key hit that was in the 6th inning. A 2-run triple by Majo Cabalet. Tuttle pitches the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed 2-2. Uh-oh, mix-up on the base paths, and Plattsburgh State runs its way possibly out of this one. A big mix-up. I don't know what happened, if they wanted to have the squeeze on or what. Johnson went from second to third, and that put the squeeze on the runner at third. She headed home, and Nastasha was out. So 2 outs, and Plattsburgh State maybe runs itself out of a game-winning situation. Now we're going to have a discussion on the mound and timeout on the field. We remain tied at 3 in the bottom of the 7th. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Beth Clement. And now Tuttle, if she can record a strikeout, she's out of a big jam. Let me tell you, this has been one odd softball game. Tied at 3. Clement bats with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Tuttle's pitch, grounder, third base. And they make the play from Maloney at third base to McCauley at first, and Plattsburgh State not able to cash in on a golden opportunity to win the game. No runs on no hits, and there was 1 error. We played 7. And it's Plattsburgh State 3 and St. Lawrence U 3. Well, both teams had chances to win. Marlowe stays on the mound as we go into overtime. Nikki Lopez bats for St. Lawrence, leading off the top of the 8th inning. And, oh, nice one-hopper. Nice play at third base. That's, who is that? Cabalet now at third base? Yes. I think that's Jaja Cabalet at third base. I'll tell you, yes, it is. I know her smile any place. No question about it. Jaja Cabalet with the leather at third base. The nifty play to rob Nikki Lopez of a base hit. So 1 quick out recorded by Marlowe. 3 runs on 11 hits for St. Lawrence. Regalinski fouls the first one back. 3 runs on 5 hits for Plattsburgh State. St. Lawrence has left tons of runners on base. I lost track. The changeup from Marlowe, called strike 2, 0-2 the count. St. Lawrence has had base runners in every inning. That one just missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Une balle, deux prises, as they say at the Big O. Une balle, deux prises. I understand Ken Drake will be headed to the Big O when the Mets are up there. Ooh, and Marlowe. Oh, Coach Cotter wanted a strike there. He marches up and down the dugout, and the count goes to 3-2. 1 out in the top of the 8th. Between innings, I'll be gathering another tape in, because let me tell you, when you have overtime, you run out of space on the tape. Hi. And a walk issued, so went from 0-2 to a walk to Regalinski. You don't want to do that.
Batting the catcher, number 18.
And that brings up catcher Michelle Cercelli. 3 for 4 in the contest. Fouled, but no chance. Very little room in foul territory behind home plate. Some room, what would we say, about 6, 12, maybe 15 feet on the sides, down the right field line, the left field line. That's another hit. 4 hits in the game for Cercelli. What a hitter. So now a rally for the Saints. Runners on first and second with 1 out. In the 8th, we've been on our feet a long time.
Now batting the second baseman, number 7, Val Angelico.
Val Angelico, fielder's choice in the second, a walk in the third, a strikeout in the 5th, a ground out to lead off the 7th. She bats in the 8th. Fran Grembowitz is the coach of St. Lawrence. She's assisted by Lori Beggs and Nan Duga. Coach Cotter leads the Cardinals, and he's assisted by Joe Triolo and Randy Ashline. The count is 1-1 to Angelico. Off the fist, but second base, nicely fielded at second base. So many substitutions. Let me check who that was. Liberati still at second base. The 4-3 put out, and that brings up McCauley now with an important at-bat. Runners moved up, so second and third for the runners. 2 outs, and again Marlowe with a tough job of closing the door on the Saints. They have 12 hits in the game. They've managed just 3 runs out of that. If you're going to get 12 hits, you want to muster about 5, 6, 7 runs. That one inside. McCauley bats, single in the second, lined out to shortstop in the third, single in the fifth, and reached on an error in the 7th. She's made contact. That one's a strike, 1-1 the count to McCauley, also known as Kelly McCauley. Two runners in scoring position with 2 outs. That one high, 2-1. And just as Ken Drake has had a long day on camera on down the right field line, Calvin Castine down the left field line has had a long day as well. And he's got the double duty of calling play-by-play as well as running the camera, but he cheats a little bit. He shuts it off after each pitch. And that may be the wise thing to do. Oh, miss on that one. Down low, and the walk. Bases loaded. Bases loaded and 2 outs. Ken, we could have seen this coming in the first inning. This game just was a long one. Now, this is the front end of a doubleheader. Don't get nervous. We're not going to be here for the whole doubleheader. We're only here for the first game coverage. They're going to try to play another one before nightfall. It may be nightfall before this one ends. We are in the 8th inning. Could you believe it?
What's the score, Fox?
And Jim and Gail Carroll have entered the building. They are on the grounds of Plattsburgh State getting some exercise with the bicycles out. Uh-oh, there's line drive to left field, and Riel was there in the left field, or I should say Johnson with the catch to end it right there. And so, top of the 8th, no runs in. They left 3. We head to the bottom of the 8th, and it's St. Lawrence 3 and Plattsburgh State 3.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, I just love seeing that black one.
Plattsburgh State's Jaja Cabalet at the plate. Drops the bunt. She has speed. She beats it out. That's a base hit. Jaja Cabalet, second in batting average on the team, right behind her sister Majo, and Jaja leads off. That's her first at bat. She went in as a pinch runner.
It's like watching Plattsburgh High.
Why, sure. 2 Plattsburgh High players, 2 from Saranac, and 1 from Northeastern Clinton Central.
Wow.
So CVAC well represented on the Plattsburgh State softball team. And in case you didn't know, it's Jim Carroll and Gail Carroll out getting the exercise on the bike. Stopped to watch this exciting game. They heard it was a barn burner. The word spreading all around the city about this barn burner. 3-3. And a steal to second base. They'll never get her. Too much speed. Oh, she got the hand. Slid the base. She almost headed into center field with the slide.
All this fancy dirt they got on the infield.
So now, yes, the field very well cared for. I guess we should credit, is it Mark Christensen, who takes care of this field and does a great job. It's very, very well kept. Tuttle's pitch swung on and missed. This is Jenny Riel.
Mark probably has a staff, Fox.
Jenny Riel batting, huh?
Mark probably.
He probably has a staff. He probably has some helpers, yep. But Mark's the only one I know.
I see. Chances are he doesn't get his feet too dirty.
And look at this. And the catcher doesn't know where the ball is. Now, Plattsburgh State has the winning run on third base with nobody out. All started by the speed of Jaja Cabalet. She hit the little roller in front of the plate, beat it out for an infield single, stole second, goes to third on that pitch, and now she's there, winning run. The game in the hands of the Cardinals right now. Jenny Riel at the plate. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And it's down the right field line, but foul. It was about 4 feet foul. My goodness. So the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. On deck, Majo Cabalet.
What do you think of that yellow softball, Fox?
Well, it is a beautiful softball that they use. I checked them out prior to game time. They are real. And they are bright. Easier to follow for our camera. And Tuttle's pitch. Oh, that's looped in. Oh, right field, and the sun in her eyes. Plattsburgh State wins it. A single by Jenny Riel. You have to count that one as a hit all the way, and lost in the sun. And no chance for the right fielder. She thought she had a beat on it, but no chance. And Plattsburgh State wins it in the bottom of the 8th inning with the run in. Scoring was Jaja Cabalet, the winning run driven in by Jenny Riel. And Plattsburgh State wins this one in 8 innings, 4-3. St. Lawrence with 3 runs on 12 hits. 3 runs on 12 hits for St. Lawrence, and Plattsburgh State finishes with 4 runs on 7 hits. And thanks to Ken Drake for his work on camera, and we'll be back for more Cardinal softball as they go through their home schedule. This is Foxy Gagnon on behalf of everyone at North Country Cable Network saying, as always, good night, North Country.
Good job, Fox.